Our first speaker this afternoon is Mr. Herbert Chen. Herbert took this trip, a long trip, to come to Cyprus from Beijing. We are grateful for his visit. The Center for Entrepreneurship of the university has an agreement, collaboration agreement with a task park. He's Vice Dean of Research there. I will not say more, so the floor is yours. Thanks for coming.
Hello, good afternoon. Dear friends, colleagues, I'm so happy to be here to join this exciting forum. I stay here for the whole morning as I'm listening every word and every company to show their technology. I come from Beijing, China, Chinua University Science Park, far, far away from here. But I got the feeling that we are talking different language. I'm talking Chinese, here talking English, but we are talking the same word. Because in China, you will always hear the same word: innovation, creativity, incubator, technology transfer, commercializations. Those are all the hot words at the same time happening in China. So that is let me feel this is a small world. We are far away apart, but we are thinking and doing the same thing. I'm also so excited to hear so many startups. They have very, very high technology, fantastic ideas. I will bring those information back with me. I will distribute those information through our network. So if somebody interested to have a cooperation, I am sure they will contact with you. So today, give me 15 minutes to talk about why China needs a science park. The technology sometimes not work. Okay, manually. China have a big industry for science park. Why China needs a science park and why the science park is important and contribute a lot to China economy. I think through this 15 minutes, I will give you a very brief introduction. The main content will include the development of China. The model of the development have to be changed. And also, if you want to run a science park successfully, what will be the key factors you have to pay attention? Let's start from here. China has a very strong economic growth in the past 30 years. You can see the GDP growth. This is a very impressive picture. And also China is the number 2 in the GDP point of the view in the world. We are better than Japan now, and it is heading to the number 1 in the coming years. But to see those exciting pictures, we have to think carefully, where come from this GDP? If you see this one, this is the unit energy consumption for produce 1 unit of the energy, or 1 unit of the GDP. You can see from here, we are consume more energy than Japan. Many, many more than Japan to produce 1 unit of the GDP. That means in China, we consume a lot of natural resource. We produce a lot of pollution. Then we get the GDP. It's not come from the high technology. And also, this is the GDP per capita. If you see this figure, the China is below the world average. So that means China facing a lot of challenge, a serious problem, actually. I'll give you one more example. Not everybody, many people use iPhone. You know, iPhone, more than half of the world iPhone produced in China. In one single city, we call them Zhengzhou. More than half of the iPhone produced over there. But how much it costs for produce one iPhone? From here, you can see the screen, the camera, The speakers only $11. You put this iPhone 7, all the parts together, total cost is only $292. But if you want to purchase an iPhone from the market, you have to spend, well, who knows, $700 or $800. So what is the difference here? It's a huge profit, right? Well, you will say not because they have R&D, they have a distribution, they have a maintenance cost. Okay, we put all the costs over there. You can see from his table, one single iPhone 7, they got a net profit is about $300. This is $293, the net profit. Now we have a new generation of the iPhone 10, iPhone X. See, one single iPhone X, they can get net profit $512 US. So anybody imagine for the startups, you sell your single products, you can get this kind of a profit rate, right? Why? Because what they can do, we cannot. So they can margin up the huge price. Now, how much Chinese people can get when they produce one single iPhone? Here is the list over there. You can see when we make every mobile phone, the manufacturing cost is only $10. That means it doesn't matter how much they sell in the market, what they give Chinese manufacturer is only $10. So how much the profit we can get from one single phone? 10? No, we have to pay all the cost for the manufacturing, right? So how much? 5? Maybe only $3. Why they can get $500, but Chinese manufacturer only can earn $3. That is a huge difference. That means China have to think carefully for the future. Made in China give Chinese people better life, but we really cannot stand on that. We really cannot stay on made in China for the next 50 years. So that means the development model of China economy have to be changed, have to change from made in China to created in China. That is the only way we have to go. We cannot stay on the made in China for a long time. But how? How can we change from made in China to created in China? That is the question I also have to think. From many, many countries, we got experience that the small high technology companies, just like today, the 10 presentation, the startups, they are the main driving force for the economy. And they are the main driving force for the development model change. Because the high technology companies, when they want to set up the company, when they want to sell the products, at least one technology will be transferred from the idea to the real products. So that means we have to pay a lot of attention on the high technology company. We have to let them grow up as quick as possible. And let us have more and more startups. But if you have the experience, you will understand the startup grows up is very difficult, very difficult. They have to passing through different challenges. They have different difficulty journey they have to go. The first one is technology. Is your idea can make samples, but can you make 10,000 per day? That is the first journey you have to go. The second one, how about your company? You are working well for 5 people or 50 people, but can you survive until 500 people or 5,000 people? So this journey is also difficult. Some people can only manage 50 people. If they stay in the CEO position and this company goes to 500 or 5,000, he may not be the person to control this company. But the serious problem is that he do not believe that. He thinks he can, but actually he cannot. That is the difficult journey. What is the next one? The next one is the market. So this morning we hear a very impressive presentation said one idea take 4, 5, 7 years to become a product. Are you sure after 7 years the market still need your products? Are you sure? Nobody sure. That means if you're too slow, you may miss the window. All the investment and effort is waste. It's no use because the marketing just changed. So how difficult for the small company to grow up? It's very, very difficult. We have the experience, the successful rate maybe only few percent, not more than 10%. But how can we help them? How can we face this situation? I give you one picture. So anybody tell me why those trees can grow up very easy and nobody taking care about each of the tree, but they can grow up just very good because the natural environment is there. The temperature, the humidity, sunshine, soil, everything is ready for the tree to grow up. Let's bring up a question. How can we create a situation or an ecosystem which can help the small company grow up just like the trees? Do we have the place in this planet, in this world, have this very good ecosystem? Do we have? Of course we have the Silicon Valley, right? The Silicon Valley is the place can generate, cultivating generation and generations of the new high technology companies. That means they have very good ecosystem. They have everything need for the business to grow up. Unfortunately, in this world, not everywhere like Silicon Valley, right? Even in China, we improve a lot, but we still have a lot of problems and challenges to facing. So what do? We wait another 100 years for the global climate change. Nobody give you 100 years. Fortunately, we are smart enough. We'll create a small ecosystem with a plastic cover, the greenhouse. Okay? Then in this small region, we can put more resource inside the small greenhouse. So you will hear a lot of words: science park, incubator, technology park, innovation park, anything. But the key meaning is, are you going to create an ecosystem, in a small region to help the small company or not? If you answer yes, then you are science park. If you say no, you are just the buildings. Okay. So that is the first point I want to share with you. Okay, if you like science park, you may ask me, how can I create a successful science park or incubators or co-working space? From our experience, you have 4 key elements have to pay attention on that. The first one is the location. Where are you going to set up your incubator and why? You answer this question seriously to yourself. Why here? Why not there? The secondly, do you understand what is your tenants really need? What kind of trees are you going to cultivate? The third one, do you have sunshine? Do you have the resource for you to use to help the small companies? And the last one is very important. Do you have the proper people to set up the service platform to conduct from the resource to your tenants? This is the key factors. The time limited, so I can't talk more. Just a few examples. We have very famous science park in the United States, Research Triangle Science Park. Why so successful? Nearly 60 years, because they are located just in the 3 key universities in between. Okay? In China, we have different science parks all over China, but the location, when the location different, the output, the bar, yellow bar over there, shows output per square kilometers. You see huge difference because the location is different. The tenants, who are you going to help? They are big company or small company, they are biotechnology or IT. Do you know what exactly they need? The demand is changing by time, and the demand changing by location, and the demand changing by the size of the tenants. They're changing everything and every time. So you have to be very careful before you say you can help them. If the tree needs sunshine, water, soil, and temperature, Now, what does company need? They need government support, industry relationship, academy, financial support, intermediate, good living conditions. Those are the things they need. Do you have the resource to help them? And the service, yes, I think service is the key. Service is the service who make the difference. It's not the buildings make difference. So I will ask who is the person in your team to in charge for the service team. What is the experience and why you select him to be the leader of this team? So we have a very good example for Japan, the Kanazawa Science Park. They have a very good service system, start from the idea until the public company. Every step, they will have a special support for you. Okay, those are the 4 key elements. I think we have to pay a lot of attention before we start this business. Now I want to introduce the Task Park. Task Park is the Tsinghua University Science Park. We are at a very good location, just in the front door of the university. I think we have a delegation visit our science park before. I welcome more and more people to come to have a look. We have 770,000 square meters. I think we are almost the #1 in the world for the university science park. 35,000 people working in this science park. It's really a nice park if you look at those pictures. We have the tenants come from bigger companies like Google and also Chinese bigger companies. We have the company come from small companies. They are the driving force from made in China to created in China. So we put a lot of effort to help them to grow up. We have a lot of resources on our hand. We have a good relationship with the government, with the industry, and we are the bridge in between university and commercial. We have our all fund ready, start from seed fund, VC fund, PE. The whole process, we have the money ready for your startup to grow up. We have a different agent to taking care the different problems like IP protections. We have a special committee to do that. For the service, we pay a lot of attention on that. We study the content. We interview the tenants. So we have the table. Say, those are the things we have to take in care if you are running the science park. This is only the basic service, and we have value-added service as well. So the government policy, how can you help the small company to understand the government policy and how to fill up the form to get support from the government, those kind of things. We organize a lot of activities. We have our website, people can understand what happened, and we have a small incubators for special technology. We put them together, so it's easy for them to communicate with each other. Not only one single science park in Beijing and Tsinghua University, we are running a big network in China. We are running 105 incubators, almost in every province. So it's a big network. We have Mr. Wang, just said over there. He's coming from our Shanxi province, the science park. So this showing we have 150 full-time staff running the whole service system. That is why we can run this big network. And start from 1994, almost more than 5,000 startups already go through our incubating process. And 27 of them becomes very big business. And this is the examples. I'm not going to details. Because the market value is so high. It started from 0 in 2001 in our science park. We have many good remarks. Lesson learned, I have to skip. So who is the person to run this science park? Is it the government officer or university professor? The answer is very special. No. This science park is running by a commercial company named Task Holdings. Where Task Holdings come from? They come from Tsinghua University. It's the very famous university in China, not only because they have very good students, but also they have very good alumni. The current president of China are graduated from Tsinghua University. But Tsinghua University also running an industrial network. There's a company named Chinua Holdings. Can you see from there? Chinua Holdings. Chinua Holdings. This is 100% controlled by the Tsinghua University. And then Chinua Holdings taking the share from different company, and TAS Holdings is here. See, the TAS Holdings. So we are part of the Tsinghua Industrial Network. We have a very special team. That is the experience I want to share with you. For example, our chairman, Mr. Mei Meng, also sit down over there. He at the position for 22 years. So the chancellor or rector changing every 3-4 years at university, but our chairman stay in the position for 22 years. So that can make the big vision becomes true. That's so important. We have our CEO at the position 12 years. So very stable management team. TAS Holding have 3 business. The first one, we are constructing, planning, and management science park. The second one, we take the equity from big company, a public company, because we think the ecosystem is not only the small company. We need a big company as well. So we take the equity from new energy, environmental protection, biotechnology, those big companies, so they can follow with us together to create a special ecosystem to helping the small companies. And we have also our financial department to make money, to get money from different channels to support the business. So this is our TAS Holding. From the shareholder, you can see the Tsinghua is only hold 45% from Tsinghua University. The other 55% are coming from 3 private sector. So we are mixed structures. This is also new and special in China. Not only in China, we have a lot of businesses developing in the world. So we're connecting to the source of the innovation. Then we have an incubator in Silicon Valley. We have an incubator in Seattle, and also Israel, and also Michigan. This is a real picture for the incubator, because we want to make a connection to the source. We are the largest incubator runner in Hong Kong as well. We set up our TAS Tsinghua University Cambridge Science Park in Cambridge Science Park. We are going to build up 4 buildings in the land of Cambridge Science Park to make the connections to the source of the innovation. We have an office in Thailand, an incubator Thailand. We have an incubator in Malaysia. We cooperate with different partners. They want to set up the first incubator in Malaysia. So we are the person to help them, to give them the consultant service, and we send our team, work with them together. And also we are the consultant support to the Mongolia National New Science Cities. We signed an agreement in front of our China president with Switzerland. They have a national innovation park. We built up the cooperation to help each other set a science park. In Australia, they have a University of New South Wales. They have a big warehouse. You can see the picture. They want to transfer this warehouse to become a very good incubator. So we are the people to providing the consultant service, and also we will set up the commercial company over there to run this incubator in the future. Also the Egypt, British University of Egypt, they want to set up the first university science park in Egypt. So we are the consultant support team to help them to set up the whole management system. After the trip here, I will fly to Egypt to start work with them together. And also Korea and Finland, many international cooperations. For the time limitation, I have to stop here. The main takeaway from my presentation is that the science park provides a special ecosystem. That is very important. And the TAS Park is the best platform in China. We can say one of the best platforms in China to helping the small business to grow up. And university run a holding company and to control the science park. That is a very special model developed by Chinese people. So far, so good. Running give a lot of positive result. We would like to share our experience with friends here in Cyprus. We hope we can find some channel and we can find some way to do the real cooperation, not only in the paper and MOU. I want to start from small, but practice a small but very actual can help each other. The project start from there to make our cooperation. Thank you so much to give me this person.